Greetings, gamers. This is Jerod Leupold. We are on session 3 of doing ah, Mutant City Blues. We're doing my playtest session for a mini campaign. We're doing the Only Good Mutant right now, and here we go. All right. So just to get everyone back into what you're kind of feeling like, it is noon on Tuesday. You guys just got done raiding the Evolve headquarters, and you're now on your way back. They've got the paddy wagons been stuffed with the other toughs in High Roller, who's getting hauled to jail as well. And you guys get back. To get in the mood, can you guys describe your main characters? Starting clockwise for me would be Brickhouse.
Yeah. Brock Lewis, codename Brickhouse. He's sort of a lanky fellow. Um, he's got a mustard color shirt and black suit with a black tie that's definitely undone at this point. Um, Almost always wears aviators, but when he doesn't, you can see that his eyes have no pupils or anything. They're just like pure white. That gives away his mutant bits. And is what's her name in the car with us? Uh, Jackson.
Yeah, I assume that you guys would bring in Genesis Jackson on her own, away from the other people, for maximum
I think
security, I
that's
would
really
assume.
that's a good
Yeah.
idea. And yeah, that's me.
Okay. Night Nurse.
I am Jody Pulsfut, aka Night Nurse. I excuse me. I am unnaturally pale, with, like very dark circles under my eyes and sunken cheeks that kind of display that I have some type of mutant power. My hair is very white pale, um, as well, and I am typically wearing a lab coat if I am in a place to be wearing that. So sometimes I just wear it in public anyway.
Perfect. And the book.
All right. The book, Steve Grabowski, is a Caucasian male, about 5'10", with brown hair and brown eyes. He's middle-aged, but he shows a lifetime of time behind a desk, moderate build, slight paunch. He always looks just a little bit bloated. No matter how good he's feeling, he always looks like he's just not feeling very good. One thing people don't tend to notice right away is he wears fantastic shoes. He has just the nicest shoes. A sign of his time working for the feds and the Department of Justice before he was dismissed for reasons that, frankly, are none of your business. In the sunlight, it turns out his skin is gray, not grayish. It's actually sort of a stony slate gray, but it really only shines through or shows through in the sunlight.
Perfect. And the Hound.
Yeah, I'm playing Ron Staton, codename The Hound. He's a short, stocky Caucasian male with green eyes, typically found wearing a blue jean tuxedo of, nice blue jean jacket and blue jeans. If he's not wearing a hat, you'd notice instead of hair, he has brown and white speckled fur instead of hair on his head.
Right. Perfect. As you're uh, bringing in the car that you checked out to go to the thing that has quite a bit of damage on it. Remember, the window's been shot out of it, and I believe one side was dented in too. I think. um, as you come in, there is in there. Okay. You guys go in and check in. You have Jennison Jackson. I assume you go straight to see Sergeant Barnes.
Sure.
Okay. All right. You go into Sergeant Barnes' office, and she's sitting there. She's probably on her 12th cup of coffee. Her silver static hair and her silver aviation glasses. And she's just sitting there and goes like, what the hell happened? I get a report from the paddy wagon that we've got one dead. The police car's been shot to hell. What's going on?
we've brought in Jackson, and she's willing to give us the identity of Mr. Nobody. We thought it was worth it.
Mr. Nobody.
The
The
real thing. The real thing, Sarge. I know it
people
was an old wives' tale, but it's a real thing, and we're playing this hunch. It's gonna work out.
I okay. Uh I for some reason don't believe you. A lot of people have been trying to this. Mr. Nobody doesn't exist. It's just some story she's trying to get off. But all right, we'll get our lawyers in. Okay. Who discharged the firearm?
It was me. I felt I had no choice. I had to defend us. We were under attack.
Okay. And like she takes a look at you for except for night nurse, you're just getting there. You got called away to do something else during that time, if I remember correctly. And um she takes a look at you three and seeing kind of what bad shape you're in. She's like, okay, just make sure you get all the paperwork done. Uh, Part of the ruling here that I'm making is that if you do fire your piece, is that you have to spend one of your shifts filling out paperwork. You can either do that right now, you can do it at night, but you need to do it the next 24 hours. Okay? So think about that if that's going to affect anything, because it is noon right now. Okay? Taking a look, a lot of you have used up most of your superpowers. Is that right? A lot of your pools have been used up. Yeah. Okay. Well, except for night nurse. Um. Okay. Perfect. All right. It's like okay. Well, so if we have that lead, let's let our lawyers go to work on Jackson to see where that can go to. What's the next step? Where are we going next?
I'm going to. I'm in pretty bad shape. I'm going to. I need to go get some treatment. So I don't know. Is there someone at the station that would help us, or is this just take it down to the hospital?
Like for you to go to the hospital? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, yeah. I think I've been. I mean, I've been straight up shot.
Yeah, that's right.
So
You hit
I,
like
yeah, yeah. I'm probably bleeding on the floor. I need to. I need to
okay.
head out and get some love.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, you can go for
I assume my ability specifically applies to disease and not healing in the I'm injured sense.
yes, that's correct. Now he has gotten some healing already, without going to the hospital, but I think you hit below -5, right?
I was knocked down from 7 to 2. I applied my healing. I attempted to apply healing on the guy I shot, but it was too late.
Gotcha. Okay. If you didn't go below -5 damage, you're actually fine. You didn't break any bones. You have no internal bleeding. But you were messed up. But you don't have to go to the hospital. You can operate still fine. And if people have any leftover healing abilities, like I think Night Nurse has healing, I assume, for some of her skill set, she could probably help you out.
Are you that kind of nurse? Night
Yeah.
nurse?
I don't know how healing works.
Okay. We
Where
had to
would I
look it up
know?
last time. All you do, it's actually really simple. You, unlike every other thing for medic, you just spend a point and you heal someone 2 points of health. That's it. Super simple.
Do I have to have a specific ability to do that though?
Medic is the skill.
Medic.
Uh,
Oh yeah, I do have a pool of medic. So say
So
that one more time.
yeah, so if you use 1 point for medic, you can heal 2 to his health. That being said, if you want to go to the hospital, you certainly can and get everything up within one.
I have a fairly large pool of that, so I am happy to give up a couple of my pool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
I
you
would
could
take
spare
How
a
would you like
couple,
to?
that would be awesome. Yeah, I'm down to 2, so 1 or
Yep.
2 would be great. Whatever you can spare.
Do 2
If you have
points from my pool to give you 4 points back. Is that how that works?
Yep.
I understand that correctly?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly
you.
right.
if you have any left over, I would definitely take some healing. I'd been knocked down to -1. I'm back up to 3 out of 8.
I'll give you 1 too.
Great. So
That's what
it's
I'm
2
good
more
at.
points. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you a couple points as well. I have 1 point out of my pool I can spare as well, so 2 more hits for you.
Oh, awesome. Thanks. Almost full.
We'll just sit around and heal each other up.
Like I have some, but I was gonna sort of save it in case we need it later. But I only have a couple points to spare anyway.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm up to 7 of 8, so doing good.
all right. This love fest has ended out there. All right. Can you tell me maybe some of your leads are? Can you like what are your next steps? What are you doing here?
How long is it going to take the lawyers to come up with a plea deal with Jackson? Do I
Uh,
guess?
I mean, it could take a day or two, but you're guessing that they're going to try and move quicker on this one. And I'm going to tell you out of meta, you're going to hear something at the end of this shift.
At like 5 o'clock counts as the end of the shift.
No, the shifts are 8 hours each. So it is noon right now, so noon to 8, 8 to 4 a.m., 4 a.m. to noon.
So we're just starting our second shift,
Correct.
if you will. I don't know. Do we want to deal with any of the Escherings? Or do we want to wait? Because I don't want to tip our hand either if she's going to give us something to work with.
Yeah,
What do you
from
think?
if you go through like the notes that are on there, Esching's talking to Laura Esching is a good one. Um, let's see now. No, you do. Hi. I think you guys were looking into um, just for a little bit, buddy.
Okay. I
Um,
think I'm gonna go and see if we can do the drawing in what's time.
okay, remember it's drawing lessons for 6-year-olds. All right, perfect. Okay. She's new. She's a lot older than what she looks. It's part of her mutant appearances. Um, we you'd also like Vic Hansen. There's something about him going on. What else? Yeah. Hey.
Bill, yeah, Bill has been investigating El Mansour's son to try to locate him.
Oh, right. Yep. You had started that. uh, I gotta do this. I'm sorry. Thank you. Bye. Have a good night. Okay. Um. Okay. All right. Yes. You set that up at the beginning of last session, right? Looking for the Mansour's son.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We can get something from that actually. You get a lead that he was staying at a um kind of a hostel that's actually known in the mutant um, neighborhoods to take in mutant kids because the sad truth of it, if some kids, not every parent is thrilled that their kid is a mutant. So a lot of them end up on the streets, and so there is a wayward house you can check out. You think that'd probably be a good place to go check out?
Might be worth doing that over the Eschings right now. I think we had gotten the thing with Vic Hansen, right? We brought him in and found out that he was most likely induced by Genesis Jackson. So I think we're down to the Eschings and Elminster's kid.
What was it? Thought there was something else. Oh, when you talk to Vic Hansen, once you use leverage and intimidation, you guys got the name of Randall Boone that had talked to him saying that he couldn't get fired. I don't know if there's any follow up with that needed or not. Sergeant Barnes' phone rings. She goes like, "Oh Christ! There's a disturbance at the hotel. There's rioters. We need some presence down there. There's some mutants in the crowd. Go, someone. Doesn't have to be all of you. Go, take care of it."
I can go. I'm probably the healthiest right now. I'll go.
All right. What are other people doing?
I can go to. I'm also healthy at the moment.
Okay.
So,
Goes back up.
Hound, do you think we should go for Esching or for Mansoor's son first?
I'd probably start with Mansoor's son first.
Okay. And remind me again, what's the number one thing we want to get out of Esching, in terms of which of the three of us should maybe go see Esching?
I think he might be our big bad. So I don't know.
Okay, well, maybe we should. So, by the way, everyone, I'll introduce you to Bill Hewitt. He's Weaver, is his code name. He's older Hispanic male, about average height, around 5'8", gray beard, salt and pepper hair, kind of a little bit frizzy, pulled back in a ponytail. He's sort of grandfatherly, right? Very kind eyes, very gentle smile. Always kind of wearing just kind of smells just vaguely of patchouli and incense. Wears some hand-woven hemp bracelets and a hand-woven hemp necklace with multicolored beads. The sort of unusual thing when you look closely, he's got sort of unnaturally long fingers, and he's always wearing sort of open-toed sandals, and his toes are also. He's got like tingers, right? He's got kind of those kind of long, gross toes, but still openly wears his filthy hippie sandals all the time.
And how does Weaver display that he is a part of the heightened crime unit? So everyone's got like a badge. Do you like put it on a pocket, on your waist, like in a wallet, or is it just like dirty satchel? What?
You with that bracelet?
Oh, could be, yeah.
Or you said he has a necklace.
Yeah, what do you think? Necklace or a bracelet?
Yeah, probably the necklace then.
Yeah, he wears it on his necklace, actually.
Okay.
Hangs on the necklace.
Great, Weaver. It's good to have you from second shift. Yeah, Weaver's gonna be helping us out. Like this is getting out of control. Come on, folks. What are gonna be the next steps? All right, so Brickhouse Night Nurse are going to the hotel where it all started, pretty much. Sounds like there's gonna be people getting all riled up there. The Book and the Hound are trying to decide whether to go after Laura or go try and talk to Al Manzoor's son.
Well, for the three of us, so Hound, my thought is we go for Al Mansoor's son, since
Yeah.
the juvenile justice specialist is here with us. So might be able to use his street smarts and ability to reassure Al Mansoor's son. Get some words out of him.
Okay. So, like, all three of you are gonna go to the hostel, for lack of a better word. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, because El Mansoor's out and about, right? We don't know where he is, and if he shows up, that he's not going to be happy about us talking to his son.
No, Al Manzoor is still in the hospital.
Oh, he is. Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He still hasn't healed, in which you know from last session, research shows that there's a mutant named Sin Eater that runs a bar called Paradise Found that has the ability to absorb superpowers. That was a clue that you guys found last session too. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to just click over to Brickhouse and Night Nurse. remember the hotel's downtown, so not too far away from the police station actually. Um, you pull up near the outside of the hotel where you see a frantic Trenton Doolittle, the concierge, for lack of a better word, from the Montrell Hotel, who called in the complaint. He tries to wave you down as you get closer. Ooh,
Yeah, we'll go up to him.
okay. Oh, hey, a gentleman from one of the protest camps, he came in here and it just came in for drinks around noon, a little bit before noon at the hotel bar, and he started getting belligerent. And then we had to kick him out. Now he's all riled up. There's some protesters. He's starting to pick fights with the anti-mutant activists. I'm afraid there's going to be some trouble if someone doesn't do something. And I tried calling the regular cops, but I mean the other the well,
Yeah,
they
I know
said
what
to
you
call
mean.
you. They said I had to call you.
What's this guy's name?
The guy you're talking to, Trenton Doolittle.
No, Trent. Trent. Who do you know the name of the guy who's causing problems?
No, he paid cash. He paid cash. But you hear a dull roar, kind of roar a little bit from like a half a block away. And it's like I just headed down that way. Uh, Bigger dude, bigger. I don't know, probably like, I don't know, 6'3", maybe like 300 pounds. Dressed okay, I guess, but you can't miss him. You can't miss him.
All right, we'll check it out. You ready to
All right.
double in? Let's go. I'm gonna just make sure my sidearm is available, but I'm not drawing it or
Okay. Sounds good.
head on the block.
All right. You roll over about a half block. Are you flashing your badge as you're walking over there, or are you just gonna walk in to survey what's going on first?
I just like to walk in and survey.
Okay. You walk over about that half block away or so, and it's like the classic scene where uh police have set up like those sawhorses to divide up the two camps, right? And there's a little walkway between them, but they're like pretty close. They're yelling, they're shouting at each other. Now, what makes this a little bit different is that there's a very large man, balding pattern, and he's stomping his feet a little bit. He's like, "You shouldn't have done that." As a beer can had just bounced off of his head, cutting him about right here. You see his y- just the hairs on the back of your neck start to go up, and you hear a slight crackle in the air as you see his pupils completely dilate away until his whole eyes turn black. The,
Oof.
the crowd, the crowds are like, "What?" And they start swarming forward. This is going to now be for basically for initiative. Okay. No one's taking any violent actions right this second. They don't know who you are. You're just part of the crowd at this point. Um, but you think that some of the anti-mutant protesters are probably going to try and hop the fence, since it seems like this person who's a clear mutant is about to do something. Okay. Now, what they're trying to do, you don't know, unless you want to use some skills.
Mm-hmm. Do we have to roll initiative first?
Well, remember, initiative works like so you whatever the highest number of your pool point is before you do anything. So you figure out what that is, and then you do that. That's what your initiative is. So if you're
All
just
right.
like, I just want to use a skill, that's fine. Just use a skill. And then maybe based on that, maybe do an action.
Uh,
You hear a slight more crackle. You hear some slight more crackle through the air as you're just kind of trying to decide what to do.
yep. Uh, I'm trying to think who this might be. I'm gonna drop my badge and hold it out and like try to like run into the middle and say, "Police department, disperse." Try to like keep everybody away from everybody else.
Okay, so you kind of hop into the middle part section, hold up there. As soon as you show your heightened crime investigation unit badge, the scene automatically becomes a lot more grim, and you hear boos because you don't represent them, right? The anti-mutant protesters. So they're not very happy that more freaks showed up here, probably just to help out their own kind. Night Nurse, what are you doing?
Am I doing? That is a good question. Um,
Because we're a little rusty, I'm
I
going to
guess
throw out some. No, what were you going to say? You had it. What were you going to do?
I finished stuff last time, so I'm a little just not sure at the moment. Um, thing that comes to my mind is this a way I could use endorphin control to like calm people down?
Um, I think that's the opposite.
Is that a thing? I don't also make them like feel good and yeah.
There's the subject experiences. Oh, right. Exhilarating rush of physical pleasure that masks the pain, increased tolerance for risk and danger.
Oh, I guess risk and danger, not calming. Got it. Tolerance. I see. When I think about endorphins, I'm like, oh, they make me feel better and not be so angry. So
Um,
please, angry. Let's make them not angry. But that's okay. Yeah,
but
if you want to give me some suggestions, I'm open to that.
yes, because it's been a full month since you've played basically at this point. So suggestions you might want to do is try to identify who the person is, right? Anamorphology, if you have that skill to try and figure out what superpower they're using, which you'll be able to cross-reference that with the mutant registry. Um, you could do streetwise. You could do to maybe see if there's some scuttlebutt that you would might know of that's going on. Probably not. Probably not here.
I do
Um,
have immortality, so if I can use that to identify what the power is, that would be perfect.
okay, perfect.
That's what
This,
anamorphology.
yeah, anamorphology is to identify superpowers, especially when you see them in use. Um, your skin goes cold as you recognize what he's doing as his eyes gloss over into that black. And you now recognize from knowing what the ability is who this is. This is KO Boomer, the most dangerous mutant on the registry. Now, what you know from how his power works
Oh,
is that once he starts charging up, the only way to get him out of charging up is to take him down.
I will relay that to my team.
Fuck.
KO Boomer.
How long do we have?
It
How many
depends on
seconds?
it depends how big he wants to make it. So you think if he just did it now,
Move fast.
it would be bad, but it wouldn't take out like the block or anything. But you think he's probably going for something a little bit bigger.
Uh, I want to rush him, grab him, and fly up as high as I can with him.
Oh, okay. Give me uh this is gonna end up being two checks. Um one simple grapple check. He is since he's charging up right now, he can defend himself, but You really just need a 3. He's a pretty big target to try and tackle.
Okay. Remind me what I got to do again.
All right. So this will
The-
be a scuffling because you're trying to grapple him. You can spend 2 points out of your scuffling pool and you automatically succeed, or you just roll a d6 and hey, maybe you succeed, maybe you don't.
Oh, looks like I have 0 points left in my scuffling pool.
Yeah, you guys are probably pretty beat up from using a lot of your points from this morning's fight that you were just in.
Yeah, I have a lot of health, but I don't have a lot of scuffling left. That's okay. I said I was going to do it. So I just have to roll d6.
Just roll a d6, roll a 3 or higher, and you got it.
Anything I could do to supplement this at all?
Do you have any strength left?
I do.
You can use strength points to replace scuffling.
Great. So I'm going to use, if I use one of those, how much do you see? Do I have to have a 2? Is that what you said?
You got to get a 3. Spend 2 to
Okay, I need a
automatically
3.
succeed.
2 to automatically. I'm going to do that. I'm going to
Okay.
spend 2 strength.
All right, so you spend 2 of your strength points. And you dash into him and you grab him as much as you can around his waist. Now, you said you're going to try and fly straight up. So right now, you've just got a hold of him. Nightmares, what do you like to do? The intention of the anti-mutant protesters, they're hopping the fence. 2 of them are.
Is he up in the air at this point?
No.
How close is he to me?
How close do you want him to be? Like, you can run up to him if you want
I
to.
want to be 3 meters. I would like to be 3 meters or less.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. You dash over, and what are you doing?
I'm trying to be able to focus on what he's trying to do, or is it? I guess, do I know about his power? Like, once it started, there's nothing stopping it other than like knocking him out.
That is
Just
the biggest.
distracting.
That is the biggest part.
Concentrating on
Right.
it, or is
Let's say that
like
again.
is he like concentrating? So like his concentration, is he gonna like break his focus on it? Is he gonna not do it, or is it like no turning back now?
There's pretty
He's
much no
unconscious.
turning back for
You know
him.
what I mean? Okay. And I guess what I was gonna do may not.
Yeah,
I
and
was
now
gonna try
that
to make
you're
him sick because I can
yeah,
spread.
okay, yeah, you can try to make him sick for sure. And now that you're close to him, you guys can smell the booze smell off of him. Okay, so you're gonna use your
Nobody
ability.
really knows I can. I'm trying to be discreet about it.
Okay, what's the ability again?
I just had it up, hence I know I needed 3 feet. I went to endorphin control, so now I have to go back. I make a spread pathogen test against a target within a number of meters. Yeah, 3 meters. They make a health test.
Okay, is it targeted or is it everyone within that area?
Oh, it's targeted. One guy. I get to pick one subject.
Oh, okay.
He makes if he fails, he loses a number of health points equal to the difference between our 2 results. You can rapidly. 10 minutes. That's not helpful at all. Whatever. It's the words 10 minutes.
At the moment, subject gets 6, spending
It
number
says
of
subjects
points. The expenditure determines the violent penalty. You spend no points. It's not contagious. Oh my god, you can make it contagious? Jesus.
is why this is an illegal one. This is one that nobody needs to know that I have if I can avoid it. But it does say after 10 minutes they start showing symptoms, and that is not helpful at the moment.
Well,
It does say they're unable to think properly and they lose things like investigating and general abilities.
well, yeah, they lose the health though right then when you use it. Okay.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so you make the
Yes.
subject makes a health test. If your spread pathogen test exceeds
Make
both 4 and the health result, the pathogen takes effect. Okay. So how many points are you gonna dump into it?
So I have not used a power yet. Like I
Well, how many points
action
from
now.
your
It's based
from
on
the pool?
Right. I have 3. I have 3. in my spread pathogen ability.
Oh, okay. You gonna spend all 3?
Sure, I'm gonna spend all 3.
Okay. Because I get to do an opposed health check to it. Now, I'm drunk. I don't think I necessarily know what's going on here, so I'm just gonna roll a d6. You roll a d6 plus 3. I got a 4.
Do the +3 if I write that in.
Hey,
2 for a 5.
Okay. So I take 2 points of damage automatically. Uh,
Does that break you? What's happening at all?
well, Brickhouse, you just feel a splash of wetness over your back as you hear just violent vomiting pouring over your back. Uh, he Now there's still 2 guys coming over, hopping over. Okay, they're gonna do what they gotta do, which is take swings at you guys. Okay, because you're tangled up. Well, one of them's just gonna try and punch. Um, okay, got it. D6 minus 1, just punching KO Boomer for 2 points of damage. He looks pretty badly hurt at this point from the violent things and getting now punched in the face. Now, Night Nurse, I'm going to try and punch you in the face. Okay, so I hit D6 minus 1. I hit you for 3 to your health.
Right?
All right, as the crowd is starting to cheer and more pushing on both sides coming towards your guys' collection. All right, let's go back to the top here with Brickhouse. You're going to try and fly, is that right?
yes,
Or did you
please.
want to change what you want to do?
I mean, at the very least, want to just get us out of the situation. But now I'm a little afraid that Night Nurse is going to get stuck in the middle of this and get rocked by these jokers. Do I think that I could fly and bring this asshole and Night Nurse with me if I wanted to?
Well, I was just looking this up. So to carry just KO Boomer, because he's a larger gentleman, it's going to be a 5 to try and beat that. Okay. And then if you want to
Okay.
carry Night Nurse as well, I'll probably add 2 to that. So you need a 7 total for your roll.
And I have 3 in flight right now.
Let me check to see. Probably. I mean, you have the sheet up more than I do. Yes, you have 3 in flight right now. So you need to roll 4 or higher to carry both, but only a 2 or higher to carry just KO Boomer.
All right. Night Nurse is smart. She'll know how to get out of the situation. And she made a dude throw up on my back, so she'll figure it out. She'll be fine. I'm gonna pick up dude and leap from a
Okay.
small building in a single.
You know that was me.
I don't know if it
That
was you.
vomit
Still.
had nothing to do
Yes.
True.
and
I
nothing
grabbed
to
this
do
guy
with
around
me.
the waist and he threw up on me. He was drunk.
Yeah.
Very
Whatever.
All right. Yep. So you just need to beat a 5 then. So go ahead and roll. I assume you're spending all your flight points at this point.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh no! Got a 4.
What?
Shit.
What are you doing? All right. The other 3 folks, you have kind of all probably piled into the same cruiser and made your way to the hostel on there. It is in a real bad part of Mutant Town, basically, or they call it the Burrows, the nest. Um, However, there is a really kindly elderly man, African American with like really kind of halfway balding pattern. And it just says home for gifted wayward student. No, it just it just is this guy's house basically. Who wants to knock on it?
Do you want to go for this, Bill? You've got like streetwise and community relations. That might be the better approach.
Yep. And how you use your skills, you just say, I'm using those skills. Boom. Because you're an expert at everything that you do. If you have the skill, it automatically works.
Okay. And you said this was like a guy's house? I thought it was a hostel.
Yep. Both.
Same.
Oh, so it's a hostel that is okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's basically
All
this
right.
guy's house that he's opened up to invite kids into.
Hey. Okay, I see. And he is, or well, some big guy is at the door of the house, and that's what we see right now.
Well, I'm assuming you knocked on it. So right now, if without knocking on the door, it's a large kind of rundown plantation style house actually, which is really out of character, but it's one of those like old neighborhoods that like if you look to the left, there's a house that's all boarded up. Like this one actually still seems kind of upkept, but like the paint is peeling on there. Like there's just not enough time. Like there's railing that's kind of broken, but the lawn is mowed, and well taken care of.
Yeah, definitely knock, and I think Weaver can knock.
Okay. Knock on the door, and as you go up there, you hear about 10 different locking mechanisms unlatched from the other side. You see just a very curious eyeball poke around the door. He's like, "What you want?"
And do we normally refer to ourselves as the whatever the group? Is that a common practice in this part of
Well,
town, or do we go in more undercover?
so think of it this way. So you guys are police agents, right? Or police
Yeah.
agents. You're police officers, right? You've been thrown into this mutant crime investigation units only because you're mutant, right? Doesn't matter what you're doing in your former life. You were now just doing this. Anything that happens for crimes in the mutant world could be a murder, could be a jaywalk. You guys get called in to do it. So you're generally thought of as like friends to mutants because you're trying to help them out, but that's not necessarily the case. So, good night, buddy. And so it's up to you whether you want to do it. But remember that if a collar happens and they find evidence that you didn't show who you were when you're making an arrest, that'll get thrown out of court.
Similar to what we would expect in real life. Okay. All right. Well, I think I can go ahead and introduce myself as, say, a member of the whatever police force, and hoping to ask. Let's see. We're here for.
We don't know what. Do we know what El Mansour's son's name is? I don't know that we've heard that yet.
Oh.
Nope.
Maybe just ask to talk to one of the boys we think is staying here. One of the
Right.
young men who's staying here.
And it's because we're investigating what happened to so and so. Is that
Yeah, there's maybe El Mansour. His dad's been shot, and we're trying to learn more.
right? Sounds good to me. And that's just go in as a polite, respectful manner with identifying that we are part of the force, just trying to understand what happens, and hoping there's somebody we can ask a few questions to that may know about anything about or any relation or any contact to this El Mansour.
Okay.
Yeah.
The elderly man listens to your story, to what you're telling him. He doesn't get any less anxious. He's like, why don't you just leave these boys alone? Do you really got to do this right now? These kids are just homeless. Now, I don't want no trouble, but do you really got to do this?
Yeah, we understand. We're not here to cause trouble, just to ask a few questions. And it looks like we have Weaver has a reassurance skill. Is that use that to just kind of calm the anxiety of the situation and say, hey, we're really just here to ask some questions and see if we can find out what go on with somebody that got hurt, right? So
Yep, that's exactly how it works. He's like, all right. You hear about another 8 latches. Thing is, finally opens the door and he opens it up. And inside, it's well, first of all, the man who opens the door as he pulls it back, he is elderly, but you see that he's wearing kind of a white A-frame that's had 2 holes cut around his middle section, as his 4 arms dangle to the side, and he's very, very well put together. Like he obviously still lifts in his spare time, any chance he can get. He's like, "All right." He waves with one of his hands to come in. He's like, "Come on in." And he turns to if you were to guess, an older Russian girl, probably in the upper teens or so. She had been sitting there trying to solve a Rubik's cube and had just gotten done putting it together and just put it down. It's like, "All right, Sasha, can you get the others?" I think they're asking about the new boy. You found him, right? Sasha looks up at you guys and goes like to you three and goes like, "You're HCIU, you're the Hound, you're the Book, you're the Weaver. You do mostly second shift, if I remember right." And he's like, "Girl, this ain't time for your parlor tricks. Just go get the boy." It's like, "I don't know anything else about him though. Sometimes you just gotta trust, okay?" All right, so Sasha goes into a back room. It's a giant house at this point from the inside. Very like grandma, like there's a bunch of quilts everywhere. Very cozy with a bunch of tables for like activities for kids to do. There is one younger kid, you're probably not. You're guessing not more than 8. Who he tells just to go upstairs. Finally, a lanky boy, teenager, finally kind of comes in the living room, which you recognize from seeing him when he was curled up asleep uh, in Al Manzour's hospital room. He's like, "Am I in trouble?"
no, not in trouble. We're just here to ask a few questions, just trying to understand what happened. Are you doing okay? How are you feeling?
Uh, yeah, I'm fine, but if you can find me, that means other people can find me, so I'll probably gotta go. And the man sounds like, "Son, you don't have to worry about that when you're here. I'll take good care of you." And you really feel like this older guy is like very genuine what he's trying to do here. But the kid is still pretty nervous around you guys, and he's like, "Well, okay, what do you want? Is my dad out? He said he'd come get me. Is he out?"
So do we know? We don't know for sure yet that he's the son, right?
Oh, this is the guy I recognized from the hospital, right?
Yeah,
Oh, you didn't do it. Okay.
you're
And
pretty
Hound,
sure.
you were there. Okay. Yeah. Hound, you were at the hospital too, right? And saw him?
Yeah, I was at the hospital as well. So
Uh, so, hey, we're just here. We want to help your dad. It seems like he's gotten in some bad stuff, and we want to help you, and we want to help him, and we want to make sure you're both safe.
Well, what do you want then?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie,
so
because I was questioning too what exactly you guys wanted out of this. So
well,
you know what?
you
I'll let you guys think about it if you want, because I'm more than happy to go back to the other guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Is,
All
is
right.
there another room we can? Is there another room we can jump to besides general for the 3 of us to talk real quick?
The old man looks at you through. He's like, "I didn't
Oh no,
think
I mean
for-"
in voice in voice chat.
Yeah.
Is there like I see that we got voice channel general. Is there a secondary channel we could jump to?
Oh, for
So
voice
you
channels?
yeah.
Uh, yes.
Okay,
I just
Hound will
created
see you
it.
down in secret.
Yeah, it's called Secrets. There you go.
That's cool.
That is pretty cool. I hadn't thought about
Alright.
using that as a mechanic in the game.
Because, like,
That's
I
really
wouldn't know
neat.
what's going on with them, but
Yeah,
also we could plan.
that's really
It'll
cool. I
also
love
make
this
it
idea.
harder for Jerod to play.
Yeah.
What?
All right. You
Harder
just
for Jerod to plan if we can break out into rooms and talk secretly. Which I guess I could go upstairs and we could talk secretly too if we wanted to, darling. But in the meantime,
So like that.
I'm
what we
totally
got?
using this later for sure. All right. You are just exhausted. You're from the fight from earlier in the day. You're sputtering. You feel the force. You start to lift off slightly. You're not going anywhere, but you do hear like, whoa, what, what's going on here? Uh, it's he's just dazed. He's just like, what are you trying to do? All right, night nurse.
Were
All right,
you
he's got
just?
punched in
Oh
the
no, yeah,
face
you
too.
did
Right?
try to.
Yeah.
There's two other guys. Somebody punched me. I'm gonna try to punch him back. Is that a scuffling situation?
Yep. Absolutely.
So how do I do that? I do like I spend one in scuffling to do something cool. Roll a
Yep.
d6 and add however many scuffling points I use.
So how it works is that you need a 3 or better to hit. Okay. And so you spend points out of your scuffling pool if you want to add to your d6 roll. So you only need to get a 3 or better. Now, when you do damage for scuffling, if you're just using your fist, it's automatically d6 minus 1.
Okay. So if I do a scuffling roll, do I get to roll the d6 and then decide if I spend out of my pool, or do I have to decide now?
You have to decide before you roll.
I'm gonna spend one out of my scuffling pool.
Okay. Now you can spend 2 if you want and automatically hit it.
I'm gonna start with one and see how bad I do.
Okay.
Plus one.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Nice
Got
pop.
7
Okay, now you d6 minus 1.
and that. And now watch me roll a 1. Yep, I hit him real good, but he's real tough.
It's a glancing blow as he saw it coming from a mile away. All right. We'll have one tough on each of you as the guy sees when he punches KO Boomer. KO Boomer didn't really feel it because he's so hammered. So he turns it to punch Brickhouse is what he's gonna do. Is your athletics 8 or better?
Athletics
Yeah.
is no.
Okay. All right. So I just need a 3 or better to hit you. I spent 2 to make it automatic, but I'm gonna do 4 damage to you.
Okay.
And then d6, the same on Night Nurse. I hit. D6 minus 1. Now you. Oh, and I do 5. As he comes with a roundhouse and just catches you on the back part of your jaw, and you're just instantly hearing the ringing sensation as he might have tore something in your tendons.
All I have left was 5.
Okay, you're still up. Okay, you're okay.
Okay.
If you get to -5, you are now have broken bones and bleeding internally. Like you have to go to the hospital pretty much at that
Okay.
point. But you are like you can still act normally at this point. Okay. Now, these two have assaulted police officers. Okay. Just want to let you know that. All right. Now, at this point, you hear KO Boomer go like, "Oh, but what? I'm gonna blow him up." Okay. Now, initiatives. My guys are gonna have initiative 0. Okay. However, there's more people jumping over the barricades to attack each other. Um, What things went from bad to worse over here.
Oh no.
Okay.
I figured that
So
one wasn't a good way. When someone rolls a 1 and Jerod said we're gonna switch, that's not a good sign.
we're at 0 initiative. So if you guys have anything higher than a 0 for your actions that you want to do, you're gonna go before me. So what do you two want to do?
Jesus.
Yeah. You just came in at this point. KO Boomer says, "I'm gonna blow him up."
What do his eyes look like?
They had dimmed a little bit, but now they're right back, and so he's probably been charging for three 3 minutes or so at this point.
I don't want to use it, but can I just get out and like we have to take him down. So I have a gun. I have points in shooting.
Okay, something that you didn't see last session is that if you pull your gun, you cannot change that. And this game is actually pretty non-lethal. So most of your powers, even when you're using them, you can choose to do non-lethal damage. But when you use a gun, there's no choice. It is always shooting for lethal.
Right. Well, right now I just want to have it like out in evidence, but also knowing he like can't back down from whatever he's doing. Um,
Just to remind
it's just
people,
I gotta
you guys have skills as
just
well.
gotta punch.
Because you've broken his concentration from his original, right? He's thrown up, he's been hit in the
Sure.
stomach by you guys. So you've at least broken his concentration enough to talk to him.
Oh, really? Well, then I want to try to. Hope I'm not the person to try to talk him down.
I can. Do I think this is more of a streetwise than a charm at this point?
Um, so you know that KO Boomer is in the system because he's gone to jail, right? Before. That's why he's in the system. You from street, you might, you know what? I think narratively, if you give me compelling reasons for using either, I'd be more than happy to work with you.
Yeah, I'm not sure if mechanically it makes any difference which one it is. What does it relate to for my skill that I would use?
Well, it would just be you're using one of your social skills. There'd be no roll to it. You just use
Sure,
the skill.
I'm trained. I'm trained in both, so um, and I have a little cop talk too. Uh, I'm gonna. I'm still right on him, right?
Yeah, you're right on him. Close enough to be
So
puked on.
yeah, I'm just gonna look at him and say, just get right in his grill and say, Dan, if you just stop right now, if we walk away from this, you'll be you're gonna spend 8 hours dealing with horseshit, all right? And that's it. If you go through with this, you're gonna murder these people, and you might murder me or my partner, and then you're gonna be gone forever. All right? Just settle down. You had too much to drink. There's nothing that has to go wrong right now. All right? Look at my partner. Look at her. You don't want to do this. Calm down, buddy.
When you tell him that you'll go away for a long time, he suddenly gets like this very like sad look on his large face, and you notice he's got very sad eyes. He's like, oh, uh, I couldn't, I couldn't do that to Big Trouble. I told her I wouldn't do this anymore. Oh God, I'm so sorry. And you see his eyes have completely just turned into a normal, like brown iris colors. Um, as he's just now, he just kind of starts to kind of blubber, kind of uncontrollably. But you seem to be fully well under control. If you need to tell him to go somewhere, get him somewhere, he'll go. Now that was using his skill. I'm more than willing to do skill for free and then an action as part of your full turn, more or less.
Sure. Um, Question: If can the old like shoot the gun in the air and make people like shut up and run away? Is that like the Cowboys would do? Is that a viable thing, or if I do that, do I have a lot of paperwork?
Would that be like an intimidation?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, anytime you fire your gun is paperwork. Okay, because you don't know where that bullet's going to come down. See, that'd be 8 hours of paperwork, which I love is a threat in this game.
Right. That's like the worst.
Now that being said,
Um,
if you want to do that to try and stop, like this is a very possible a riot situation, right?
right. If I think that would be calming, or do I think that would just incite more violence? Because hey, he's got a gun, he's shooting at us. You know what I mean? Like I've only seen it in westerns and just bad cop movies. I don't know if that's a viable thing you can actually do.
I can't imagine that it would help. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I think the same way. You see it happen all the
These
time. Like, I don't know.
these are Tea Partiers, the Federalist. You got to figure half of them are armed, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Uh, then I would just I'm going to take out my cuffs and begin the process of cuffing Dan and intimidating the crowd and say, "This is over. Get one more step towards us. Fucking hit a police officer. You're going to go to jail. All right." And I'm going to take my glasses off. And you don't want to go to the jail that I'm going to take you. My eyes just look white and weird.
Night Nurse, what are you doing? Besides reeling from getting
Uh,
your tendons torn in your jaw.
right. And I mean, my dog just bit me, so hey, that matches.
Which one?
Just kidding. She didn't bite me. That was enough. No, it was just a little nibble. I am going to. I haven't decided yet. Yep, that's what's happening right now. Um, I'm not really sure what I need to do right now. Oh, can I medic myself? Is that a thing?
Sure. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, if you want to medic yourself,
'Cause it
that's
seems to
totally fine.
be. Are those still those two guys trying to punch me?
There is a guy still there who wants to punch you, yeah. But
Wants to punch me?
after Brickhouse made that declaration of like assaulting and seeing that KO Boomer has gotten under control more or less, they've kind of stopped. You feel like there is like either the calm before the storm or the storm has passed, depending on what you do. Okay,
Okay.
I'm switching over. I'm
Well,
switching
I'm
over.
oh, it's fine.
All right, secrets, room secrets. Um, let's go back to where we're at. And he's like, well, okay, well, what do you guys want? That was a weird accent. He doesn't have that accent. He's just a teenager kid. Hey,
Yeah.
okay, what do you want?
Yeah, don't do that accent again. Okay. No. So no, let's go ahead with reassurance skill on the kid again too. He's kind of
Okay.
anxious, thinking that, so let's get him calmed down a little bit, and then let's start with more of a, hey, we saw you at the hospital with your dad. We know you're worried about your dad, and that's why we're here, just trying to understand what was going on. And so could you help us understand, is there anybody after your dad who would want to, why is he in the hospital? Who would want to do this? Do you know?
I, no, no. I know he doesn't like his job. But he said that he's not going to have it for very much longer. Um,
Why
like,
do you think that is?
well, I don't. That's just what he told me. He promised me that, it- like, he just wouldn't. Something was going to happen soon, and that he wouldn't have to deal with this anymore. But then, like, he took off. Um, which is unlike him. He's usually really good about sticking around. But he took off for somewhere the night before the concert, and then came back, and I just heard he was in the hospital. And I went to go see him.
Hmm.
The kid starts coughing a little bit, and while he's coughing, he coughs up not a small amount of blood.
Okay. Are you sure you're all right? You said you were all right earlier, but you feeling okay there?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just what I got, right? I got it from my dad. I didn't. And he's been kind of sitting there like this the whole time with a hoodie on or whatever. And he pulls his hands out of the hoodies, and you see he's got like stigmata marks on his hands, except he's not healing. It's just bandaged, and they're probably just constant open wounds. That he was lucky enough to get that as his mutant power, and he's just like, oh, I just no, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine as long as I get the blood transfusions from Dad. I'm fine.
Oh, okay. I'm going to ask him if he's ever had that looked at, and then specifically name the clinic where we know they're doing the research. Have you ever been to this clinic? And
Yeah,
I don't remember the name of it, but yeah.
yeah. It's like, yeah, the day before the concert, we went the day before the concert to try and get in to see if they would take me or whatever. Um, but then that after that, that's why he just dropped me off at the hotel room, and then that's when he disappeared. Was after that.
And they refused to treat you, or it
Well,
didn't help.
Dad just said that we just didn't have the time like that. If you remember going back to that scene, um, here's one of my favorite parts of this. You can do a preparedness check to try and recall cases or information. You can also go take a look at the notes to keep things free and easy for you. You remember going to the clinic, right? Someone went to the clinic, right? No, never
I
mind.
don't remember that anyone's been to the clinic.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, let me.
We're going now.
Yeah, we'll have to go
right.
upstairs. Yeah. Brickhouse, did you go to the clinic at any point?
I don't think so.
Okay. And I don't recall that Night Nurse did either. No, we've
Yeah.
not been to the clinic yet then.
What's the difference
Oh,
between the clinic and the hospital where old man Al
El Mansour.
Mansour was? That's not the same place, right?
nope. No, the clinic is someplace else. Okay.
I'm
All
sure
right.
I did not go.
Okay. That was the other group. I'm glad I didn't say anything that to remind you of what happened there. That didn't happen.
Okay, so that
Now, at this point, you're pretty sure that you've probably tapped out all your resources that for trying to figure out what else this kid might know, unless you can surprise me with something that I might be able to give you.
well, we had one other question for him, right? Oh, you said if others could find you. Who are you? Why do you think others are trying to find you? What are you worried about?
I don't know. I don't know. Dad just said to hide, and he'd come get me.
Hmm. All right. Well, we gotta go to the clinic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come.
Yeah, I guess. Do we want to leave someone here to keep an eye on things? Would it make
Wh-
sense for maybe me to stay and keep a surveillance on the place? I have
When you
surveillance. I could spend some time on surveillance if the two of you want to go check out the clinic.
when you bring that up, the older man cracks his knuckles and on all four hands is like, not gonna have to worry about that. I got it.
Okay.
Okay. Hound, anything else you want to follow up with?
The only thing is I'd give the older gentleman my card and say, in case anything comes up, feel free to reach out. We appreciate what you're doing here.
Okay. One of my boys became one of your heightened crime unit fellas. So I'm real proud of him, and I'm proud of the work you guys do. Just you don't have to always come here to looking for trouble. I'm trying to do something good here. All right.
Oh, absolutely. Who was I don't know if I know who this is. Who was it that joined us?
Give me a second to take a look. I've got it here. I gotta get to it. Oh, Jerome. Jerome, Igniter. When he says Igniter, you're like, oh yeah, he works like the third shift or something like that.
Oh yeah, Jerome. Yeah, I didn't realize he was one of your charges. He's a hell of a guy. Does great work for us. Thank you for helping him find his path.
Yeah, absolutely. He was a little bit of a firebug, but we got that out of him. So no, he's doing good work now. Okay, Brickhouse,
Yeah.
Night Nurse. Did you figure out what you're gonna do? Night Nurse, specifically.
I am going to heal myself a little bit. So I'm going to spend 1 point of medic. Give myself 2 back.
Okay, that's your action?
Yes.
Okay. Um, I think I'm gonna have both sides of the crowd right now just hesitate just slightly longer. There is a this is a very volatile situation. And you think just like one more punch getting thrown is going to turn into a full scale riot. And there's going to be a lot of innocent people probably hurt. They're going to kind of start stepping back just a little bit. What do you guys do?
If I can move Dan out of through the down the middle there, right back to our squad car, and put it in our squad car, I would do that. I'm not going to cuff him right now.
Okay. He follows you like a lost puppy. He's just blubbering uncontrollably at this point. One of those like really ugly cries on there.
Great. I'll put him in the back of the squad car. Shut the doors.
I'm going to let Brickhouse know that he's going to be feeling a lot sicker in a few minutes.
Good. My shift's going to be done here after a while, and somebody else can clean out of the back of that car.
Okay.
It's mostly plastic. It'll be fine.
Okay. All right. You load up Dan and you take him back to the
No, I'm gonna do it. I really wanted to try to get the guys who fucking punched us. I want to really commit their faces to memory. So if I see those fuckers again, they're getting arrested, but not in the middle of this shitstorm.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. They disappear, they roll back into the crowd, but that is a good note for me. The 2 people that assaulted officers and got away with it, basically.
Better not find me with all 7 of my flight, because I am going to drop them from as high as I can. So,
All right, you load up Dan, hop into the squad car, and you go back to the station. All right, second team, or team 2, I should say. Should we just go back? I think we should probably just go back, right?
Back to where?
To the station, unless there's I'm more than happy to do one more scene for each person, for each group, or get together, and maybe go separate to other parts on that. But because like for the group that has Dan, you get him back there and you book him for disorderly conduct or whatnot. Okay. So let me write that down in case files. The registry. Where is it at? Why don't I have that? There it is. Okay. Docket, which is going to be disrupting the peace. Suspect Dan Oh, Dan Robertson. Okay, you put him in the
Am
drunk
I
tank.
right? Did he mentioned Big Trouble, right? Like he wanted to do that to Big Trouble again?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's exactly what you heard. All right, I'm going to take a second to grab another soda. If you guys want to talk amongst each other to figure out what your next steps are going to be, or grab a soda, go to the bathroom, whatever. Be right back.
Great.
So, Hound, do you think that the last act of the shift should be to go check out the
Clinic.
clinic? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that and the Etchings are our last two things, and neither of them seem necessarily more promising. The Etchings are kind of vaguely, nebulously behind things. The Clinic's at least directly related to Element's Sewer.
I feel like it all ties in together somehow.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
about the
it
two
don't.
of you go? Oh, go ahead.
Nope, I'm sorry, I interrupted.
How about I go do some paperwork because I literally shot a man to death, and the two of you go to the clinic. I have some paperwork I have to do.
I didn't shoot a guy to death. Do I have to do paperwork for running a guy over, though? Because I definitely ran a guy over. Just broke his leg. He lived. But
No. Since you didn't
okay,
draw a gun,
cool.
you're fine.
Vehicular manslaughter is fine. Good to know.
Well, you didn't kill him. You right?
No, I'm joking.
It's going on your record, though.
Okay,
That's all.
Yeah, if you two want to go to the clinic, I got to do it either now or I lose all day tomorrow. So.
And so
Now-
what was the outcome? What was the outcome from the disturbance then that the other two broke up? So you brought the guy back into custody for
disrupting the
disturbance.
peace.
Yeah. Disorderly conduct, probably, drunken behavior.
Yep.
Okay.
Which could have turned into something way, way worse if no one was there to step in. KO Boomer truly is one of the most dangerous peoples out there, but he's also just like a dude. Like, it's not his fault that he got these powers. Okay, so some people are going to go to the clinic.
Yeah, do we want Night Nurse to tap in with us? She is kind of our medically sighted person here.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Well, is there two things we want to try to do? Do we need to go 2 and 2 somewhere, or because I assume
really big on splitting the party up. You cover a lot more
Yeah.
ground, and I'm not giving you guys that much time to solve this case.
Yeah, I assume we don't need 4 of us to go to the clinic.
Yeah.
So
I could
agree.
go.
I'm gonna go to my desk and get my backup shirt out of my drawer, and then I'm gonna wash up real quick and change that, and I'm gonna throw away the jacket probably, and go to like Lost and Found and find another jacket that almost fits me and wear that instead.
Now, this also brings up an interesting point that because we're doing this as the mini campaign, does anyone want to just switch over to their backup character, or do they want to loan their backup character out to Aaron?
Oh, I'm good. I got paperwork to do.
Are you sure you don't want to?
No, I'm good.
Okay, all right. Just didn't want you to have to sit there if you didn't want
This is
to.
my penance for not pulling my punch. I'm good.
You were in a
I was
pretty tight
definitely gonna
spot,
pull my
though.
backup character eventually, like as we got, because Brickhouse wants to rest, so I was gonna bring him out at some point, whenever that needs to be.
I mean, if we want to.
Yeah, so if we do the clinic, what's the other lead we have then? What, like if we do split up, what's the other thing?
You want me to throw you real quick?
Try to talk to Laura Esching if she'll talk to us.
Wow.
Okay.
We don't really have anything to make her
Can you
talk
put
to
that on the
us.
table over there?
Just request that she do so.
And then we are concerned she's tied into the big crime family here, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely is.
Okay.
She's the heir presumptive to it.
Like, I think we get some information if we talk to her, but risk tipping our hand if she knows that we're about to do something.
Yeah, I don't know that we have any other leads if we're splitting up. Do we, other than the clinic? Am I missing something? I guess there's the one guy who talked to Hansen and said he wouldn't lose his job at the bar. Other than Jerod brought that up, I don't see that that's really all that worthwhile checking into, but we could.
We
Randall
could send
Boone.
somebody to Paradise Found, right? Because have we actually been to Paradise Found yet?
Mm-mm.
Someplace
Yeah,
we
you
haven't
want to
gone
roll
to.
over there, Brickhouse? Two of us go check into that.
Sure, that sounds fine.
What's that one? Paradise Found.
What was the Paradise Found again?
Is that the bar?
That's the bar.
Oh, okay.
All right, we got it all figured out. We're all splitting up and running naked.
I mean, it totally makes sense. All right, so then Night Nurse Weaver will go to clinic. You two go to Paradise Found. You
Paperwork.
Here, I'll give you some more. Why don't you do some
Perfect. Anyone else that needs paperwork done, I'll get it done right now.
Can you do dry cleaning? That would be helpful, actually.
No, on the
Yeah,
plus
we
side,
need an insured.
no, on the plus side, you're the book. You're really good at paperwork, so there's something to be said for that.
This is like my jam. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to the clinic and going to Paradise Found. Both are interesting scenes. Let's start with the clinic then. Okay. Where's the clinic scene? All right, so at this point, it is about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon on the Tuesday. Where's the clinic? There you go. Okay, so the clinic that we keep referring to, that we always forget what the name of is, it is a DNA suppression clinic. As you roll up in your cruiser, let's see if I remember correctly, it is Night Nurse and Weaver, correct? Okay. There's a small group of protesters boo the investigators as they enter the clinic, holding up signs that say Adam and Eve, not Adam spelled Atom, in Steve, and the only good mutant band rules. There's a sharply dressed nurse wearing crisp white linen uniform greets the investigators as you enter the clinic. It's a single floor, not all that big for a metropolitan. Um, as you get closer, you see that the nurse is all business, and he seems tired. He seems tired, not willing, probably not willing to put up with any BS. Yes. What can we do to help out the city's finest?
Yeah.
Night Nurse, do you have any people skills? Oh.
No. Mute. Oh, mute. Yeah, I think you're on mute.
You're on mute.
Yep. I am in fact on mute. But no, none. Zero. I much prefer the morgue where the bodies are not living.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we can just go in then with just regular
charm, man.
Yeah, or if he's not up for any bullshit, just no, cop talk wouldn't be that. But so we have charm here, just to not that we necessarily have to bullshit it yet. I guess just come in saying, okay, yep, hey, we're part of, as you saw, we're part of you. Yeah, that. Just wondering if we could ask some questions about the El Mansour, and the night he was in here, and seeing if we could just ask some questions to anybody about that night. And listen, I know you're really tired. I can tell already you've had a long day. We won't take up much of your time. So, hey, can I get you a coffee or anything? Anything I can do to help while we get the right contact here to talk to?
No, I assure you that that's fine. Look, as you well know, I cannot give up any information about any potential patients. However, I'm more than happy if you want to learn more about the trial that we're doing here. I'd be more than happy to talk about that.
Sure, sure.
Do you
Let's.
do you
That
prefer?
would be helpful.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Yeah,
yes, I would love to learn more. If you need, uh, we can come back with a warrant, and then you can give us patient information. I do have bureaucracy. I know paperwork or how
okay.
proper channels
Bureaucracy
work.
was exactly what I was
People
looking
knows
for.
how HIPAA.
Perfect.
Nice.
All right, so he's going to tell you about the trial, and then we're also going to the bureaucracy check as well. All right, so he explains what's going on. He's like, just like cancers, uh, because certain cancers affect the DNA. So diet and certain supplemental injections have proven beneficial for some terminal diseases that can alter the victim's DNA. What we're doing here, this trial is exploring how it affects those affected with the sleeping flu, or as you guys know, what the mutant powers came from. Now, unfortunately, the results that we're going to see for this are going to take years, if not generations, before we find out if it's really going to affect it. Just as a quick little aside, so Iowa City is the home of AIDS research, of like one of three of the big clinics that researches AIDS, and also clinic studies. I've got a buddy of mine who this is part of his study that he's in, is diets affecting cancers within AIDS as well. And they are getting results of some sort. So it's going to be diets and foods that can alter the DNA to lower your cancer. They're attempting to do the same thing with your mutant powers. Maybe they can get rid of them, maybe, or at least lower them to a certain bit. Now, you used bureaucracy, and he sighs and is like, uh, you know, since he never officially became a patient, it's probably okay to tell you. Yes, there, a man came through, a very famous man, I think you were asking about him, an Al Manzoor. They came to the clinic. We had to forcibly remove him. Um, he he stated he didn't have that kind of time and that he would find someone else that could help him. I don't know what happened to him afterwards, but we kicked him out of the trial. I hope he finds whatever help he's looking for.
Mhm.
Hmm.
All right.
What kind of help did it seem he was looking for? What did he hope the trial would do for him that didn't match your
Well,
objectives?
he was trying to get into the trial sight unseen, and we can't just take anyone off the street. I do believe he actually, but the paperwork he was bringing though, it wasn't his. You see, we couldn't just allow him in. That wasn't his paperwork, or whoever he was bringing the paperwork. We'd have to meet with him, and also the results from the trial. We also have to have placebo groups and all that. We can't guarantee anything overnight, right? This is a very serious trial that we have to do by the books, and he wanted to through cut through the red tape and just get whoever trying to get in. It's just not how it's done. All right,
Do
we're
you
now
know it
going
was
to
his paperwork?
we're now going to switch
Sorry.
to, all right, if that's page 16, then we're going to go to Paradise Found. You roll into Paradise Found, which is a bar near the outskirts of Mutant Town. It's a very popular uh, bar for regular human tourists to come to visit during the weekends. Um, it is run by Reese Slater, otherwise known as Sin Eater. It runs an upscale, somewhat sleazy feeling bar for the disenfranchised and misfits. It's located in a predominantly run-down and dangerous part of the mutant borough. They've always had an open door policy for all enhanced, which further enriches their illicit allure. Normals love to play tourists here during the weekends for the excellent vampire in hell motif. As you get to the outside of the bar, you see a man of Scandinavian descent wearing a cheap plastic devil horns stands defiantly in front of his establishment, facing down a belligerent customer. It is an Asian woman who's towering over the man. She There's electricity ripples down her arms. It appears that things are about to turn violent.
Big trouble? I already had to talk to Danny. Knock it off.
As soon as you say her husband's name, she immediately takes a step back. I'm like, what? What do you know? He's in there seeing that whore. I know he is.
No, he's down at the station. He almost blew everybody up. We talked him down.
What? He's at the station now?
He is.
And who is clearly Ree says, I told you, Shen. He wasn't here. Shen is like, oh my God, he's in trouble again. And she just starts to run down the block, assumably towards her car on there. Do you stop her?
No.
Yeah, she can go check in.
Okay. She sprints down there. As a former Olympic hopeful weightlifter, she makes pretty good speed making it down there. Slater looks up from the concentration. Is like, "Oh, investigators! That was a bit of good timing. Please come in. Please come in for a free drink." Uh, Reese speaks in a very caring and measured tone. They don't hide who they are or what their abilities are. As you can see, that Slater has very clear, long canines about this long. He, you get the feeling that he just doesn't know why some people want to be normal when there's just a lot of hurting souls out there. But if he can help, or if they can help, they will. Eh, They he, they give off the impression that Slater is really trying to protect something good here. So please, investigators, come into my humble abode, as he waves entrance into the bar Paradise Found.
Reese, I'm Detective Lewis. I don't think we've met.
Oh, I don't think I've had the pleasure. Your boys have come down here quite a bit, as you've had to do so. But I appreciate it. It's always good to know people in the force. Please, what will you be drinking?
Uh, whiskey, well, is fine.
Oh, excellent. And your silent friend?
I'll just do a soda. I'm driving.
Very good then. Now that you're inside the bar itself, it is like the height of cheap camp. Like you've got like these rotating lights around like the flame colored and painted like what do you call them? Thin film on there. So it gives the effect of flames on the walls, right? But when you
We
get in
call
there,
it
you know,
gel. But it's
yes,
gel.
Jill, thank you. Cool. Um, but you notice that the chairs and the tables and like the bar itself are of incredibly high quality and lovingly taken care of, very much so. It's like, oh yes, well, thank you. Like I said, good timing. And how can I help you two out? As you see in there, there's a couple of scragglers in there, probably left over from night shift, just having some drinks.
Uh, Slater, how come you haven't been asked to be part of our squad? Has anybody talked to you about it?
I That's very flattering. But I prefer to help out in ways that I feel will actually help. Police end up If you're a hammer, all you start to see are nails, and I don't want to become a hammer.
I think you're more like a sponge. Like if Dan really were to go off, your powers probably could have helped everybody.
Well, if people want to come to see me to have their gifts taken from them, I can freely do that.
We might want to do that. We could talk about that later. I want to know what you know about what happened at the hotel this week.
Oh, nothing. Well, I shouldn't say that. I know a little bit. Well, because you helped me out with Shen just now. So yes, a gentleman that was involved with the altercation there at the hotel did come to me the night before the concert to be unburdened of their gift. Uh, I don't take money for services very often, but they're raising the rent again here, and delivery costs to this part of the city are not cheap. He is clearly indicating that Al Manzoor came to see him the night before the concert.
Yeah.
Did he
That
say
makes
why he wanted to be absolved of his power for a short time?
I make it a point to not question. I don't delve into the whys of it. If people are hurting, I will help them.
You're a bartender, right? You have a certain amount of empathy. Why do you think he wanted to do it?
I couldn't begin to know. He was he was very businesslike. He was obviously scared of the prospect of doing what he was doing, but at the same time he went through with it.
Is he ever gonna recover? Is this permanent?
Oh no, no, dear child. No, no, no. He'll be right as rain in a couple of days. He he was a little rough with me, but to forgive is to be divine. And he kind of waves with his like little plastic cape.
Okay.
All right. Think about some more questions that you may want for Reese. And back at the clinic. Night nurse, I believe I cut you off, unfortunately. What were you going to say?
I was gonna ask how they do it was his paperwork that he tried to submit.
Well, the paper. Sorry. I'm not Reese anymore. Um, well, the paperwork that he turned in clearly wasn't for him. The it, Look, we know who Al Manzoor is, right? And the blood workup that he brought in on the paperwork clearly wasn't him.
You still have that?
Not that I can give you.
If I come back with a warrant, will you give it to me? Do you still have it?
Let's ask
No.
that. Can you confirm if it was for a minor?
Give me a skill, one of you two.
Charm, I know that one.
Then I
Yeah.
still have bureaucracy. Like, we're not asking you to identify anybody or this paperwork. We're just
Would forensic psychology work to sort of read his body language and try to is that the appropriate one for that?
Yeah, I would take that.
Okay.
for like evidence collection. Like I have things.
No,
I
I
know
don't
all the loopholes.
know.
Tell us this.
Yeah, you guys have a pretty good handle of what's happening here. And through the forensics psychology of it, the nurse clearly feels very passionate about the project they're working on and would never, ever do anything to try and endanger it.
Okay.
Now, when you say something about, was it a minor? He looks at you with a pained expression. And it goes like, I can't share that information. Which you can take by using the skill. Most assuredly, it was probably,
Yeah.
yeah, something like that.
Okay. And then, are oh, I'm not sure where I'm going with that next question yet.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you guys might have in the clinic? Like honestly, I don't know if there is anything else here. You've
So,
you've gotten
and so
all the
you're
information.
confirming, you confirm that he did not then get any sort of service here. He did not. No blood was drawn from either. Okay. Either him or whoever the paperwork was for. You
Yep,
guys shut it down right away.
correct.
Okay. Okay. So I think we got what we want to do from here. We were trying to confirm if anything happened to his powers while here, and I think we basically confirmed no, nothing happened here, right? So
Yeah, and he's trying to get treatment for his son, right? That's what
Right.
he's really wanting, to get the stigmata taken away or repressed or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we don't have that kind of time, so he's trying to hurry to get that. Come.
All right, back to you, Paradise Found. Oh, would you like another?
Go for it, Hound. No, I'm all right. Hound, what do you got?
Did he mention anything about his son when he came and talked to you?
No, no. He was very um he was very quiet. He was very quiet when he came in. Or I shouldn't say quiet. He's not a sharing type as far as I could tell.
When you absorb the powers, you can just use them yourself, or can you pass them along to others?
No, 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 no. I just put a little tamper on them. Uh, to be honest with you, it's usually quite sad. For some people, for some mutant kind, they just want to feel like human again. And so they go to the other parts of the city where no one knows them to look normal. Do you guys have anything else for Reese?
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I feel like there's something I'm missing, but I can't think of what it is.
No, no, gentlemen, I thank you so much for coming in and helping. I cannot say my thanks so much, but I'm sure, unfortunately, I'll see you soon enough as it is.
If you see something weird, I'll give him my card. I'll pass it along and say, like, we're on your side. If there's something that can help with this, let me know.
You're on my speed dial already. Thank you so much.
It
Now,
might be better to skip ahead to. That's my uh, extensions on that. I would call that before going through dispatch.
no. I'm going to do a quick reminder here. Who interviewed the boys in the band? McGrath and O'Connell.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. Because you're there, you remember that McGrath said that he went to a bar
Yeah,
to
he came.
get,
I have it in my notes that he went to Paradise Found.
yeah.
Hey, Reese. One last thing. Was Killy McGrath here on that night at the hotel? That Monday night? Right?
I don't know if he was, but you're more than welcome to take a look at my security cameras.
If we can for a second,
Yeah.
that should be pretty helpful.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
absolutely. Anyone have electronic surveillance?
I have data retrieval if that would work.
Yeah, it'll be good enough for me.
I don't.
Okay. So Big Trouble, the Shen there, did a little bit of damage to the power grid in the area when she was powering up for electrical attack on Reese. But You were able to sift through any scratchy parts in the cameras to make sure that they're okay. You retrieve enough tape to prove that McGrath was there at the bar at the time of Wilson's assault, looking for a hit for endorphins, and he seemed to have found a woman there that probably was helping him out with that.
Cassie?
No. Cassie stayed at the hotel the whole time.
She was at the hotel.
Yeah,
Do you recognize the woman?
Do you guys? Not without it give me a skill check. Um,
It's not Laura Eshing, is it?
no, it's not.
Like, I
Man,
have like research or like evidence collection, if either of those would help.
Streetwise.
I do have Streetwise, yeah.
I have Streetwise as well.
Okay, you recognize her. Yeah, she goes by the code name Jezebel.
Yeah. Old Christina. She's also a lady of the night. Okay.
Didn't we talk to her already once a while back? No.
Nope.
Okay.
No, it's the first that you've heard of her.
Okay.
But she's on a registry.
Yeah, she's on the registry. And it 100% corroborates McGrath's cover for where he was at that night.
All right. We got some shit done.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So then we're going to wrap up this part of the scenes. So it's like at 8 o'clock at night, more or less, or a little bit before there. It's the end of your regular shifts, right? So you guys come back. Normally by this time at night, Sergeant Barnes has left for the day, right? She gets there very early. And she usually leaves around like 5 or 6. Still late, she still puts in like 12 hours. But she's still there when you guys get back. So all of you come back, you share your information for what you found. And Sergeant Barnes, all of you on your desks have a message to come into Sergeant Barnes' office as soon as you get in. As you go into Sergeant Barnes' office, you knock, as is the way. Come in. As you go into her office, you see a woman, more probably wide than she is tall. She's got shoulders out to here, just around 5 foot tall, wearing a very badly cut suit that's all gray. Wearing sunglasses, ponytail pulled back, brown hair. Sergeant Barnes goes like, "This is Agent Franklin. She would like to speak to you all." He goes like, "This is everyone." Sorry, she goes, "Yes." Franklin then speaks. She goes like, "Thank you for your help in apprehending Genesis Jackson. She has been on our watch for several years, as you would know. It's good to have her finally pinned. Unfortunately, I cannot give you this collar, and unfortunately, you cannot share anything that she has said. It could possibly ruin an ongoing case. So I want to thank you."
Whoa. Whose jurisdiction?
She looks at Sergeant Barnes. Sergeant Barnes just looks at you all. She goes like, "Look at the shoes."
Fucking feds. God damn it. Really? After all this?
I understand your anger. I once was in your position. But do not mistake my tone for being friendly. Sergeant Barnes. Sergeant Barnes is like, thank you all for coming in. I thought you should hear it from me indirectly from Agent Franklin. Thank you so much. Well, Agent Franklin then hands you a card to each one of you. Goes like, if you hear of anything else, please let us know. We may be in contact with you as well. Dismissed.
You've been very helpful. I'd crumple up the card and put it in my pocket as I walk away.
All right. So this is a full day. This is the end of Tuesday night. Your paperwork is now done. The book. High fives. Now you can go to sleep for the next day. Getting all of your all of your superpower points back, all of your physical power points back. I just don't see why they don't give you all the points back regardless. Like, so does that mean like your mental points, you don't get those back until the end of the whole adventure? I mean, I guess not, but if you sleep for the whole 8 hours, you gain 2 health, you gain 2 composure, get all your superpower points, and all your physical skills, those go back up to full as well. Does anyone burn the midnight oil to do more searching, or do you just call it a night and we go to Wednesday morning?
Yeah, I'm gonna call it a night.
Same.
Brickhouse is. I kind of want to put Cody on the night shift and do some investigating, but only if everybody else wants to have their secondary characters do some investigating. Not just me, but if anybody else wants to try to do something.
All right. Well, let's just call it for now then for these characters, because starting tomorrow, you guys are going to get a very unique opportunity to start switching amongst your characters. I don't know if it's unique. I'm just going to throw more crap you guys that you can deal with, basically, with your one character.
Could we take a minute to debrief on what we found today?
Yes. Yeah, if you'd like to.
Yeah. Any leads or insights that we haven't followed yet? Anyone seeing like what's the next path forward? I mean, the only unanswered questions I have at this point are, why did Al Mansour give up? Why have his powers been gone for so long? That seems out of the range of what that skill absorption power can do. Something bigger might be going on. And why didn't he just bring his son to have, if he's trying to get rid of stigmata, why didn't he just have bring his son and have the Sin Eater eat those? Or are they somehow related? Maybe we go talk to El Mansour again? And I don't know how we approach him and say, we talked to your son. But I mean, maybe we go ask him more about Sin Eater and why his powers have been gone for so long. So that's my only bit. So I'm done talking.
I can answer
Why
two of
did he
those.
do it to begin with? Oh yeah, please answer stuff first.
I can answer two of those questions for you right now. When you're talking with Reese said that he grabbed him to really hit him hard by absorbing its power. Okay, so using endomorphology, you know that this is normal case. He should be fine in like a day or two. Okay, it is unusual to hit him this hard with the power on it, but it's okay. The other one that you asked about was shoot.
Well, why didn't he
Oh,
just take his son? Yeah, Reese. Yeah.
That one. Because his power is to absorb powers, not the side effects. So if you look at the Quaid diagram, you have
yeah,
all these
okay.
what are called GFRs. These are all the bad things that you can get by having certain superpowers, right? So if you just have the GFR and you don't have a superpower, he can't do anything about it. But
So
that's a good point for me later in the adventure. But all right, I'm done.
why did Almanzor do this to begin with? Do we have a solid idea on that? Like, why did he want to be weaker? Okay, well,
We don't know that, and we also don't know for sure why Vanessa Poole was trying to kill him. I mean, she's a mutant. She might just not like the, people who are anti-mutants, but we also know she was, well, we don't know. We highly suspect that she was an assassin for the Esching family and helped them gain control. It's possible someone hired her to do this hit. We haven't found anything to indicate that, though. So it could just be freelance.
Yeah. I mean, Esching's right. Like that's where all of this has been leading. I just wish we had something more to go on before we went to talk to him. But
I will say that you do have new information to be able to go back and talk to Almanzor. I think that's a good idea. In your secondary of trying to figure out who hired Vanessa Poole, that's your main case, right? Is who hired Vanessa Poole, or did she do it on her own? If you find that out, then you can prove probably one or the other whether it was self-defense or not self-defense for the case. Like, and this is something like you can talk to the lawyers and they'll kind of give you this idea of what's going on this way, right? Um, so you have to figure that. Well, you don't have to figure that part out. I'm just saying that is definitely a part of the case. You guys have a good handle on what those are, okay? Because there are, like I said, this is the most complicated thing I've ever put together. There are 3 or 4 different crimes that happened all in this one night. So, that being said, do you guys have any other places that you want to point out towards going to?
where is Vanessa Poole right now?
Dead.
The
Oh
morgue?
shit, she's a dead one. That's right. Sorry. Yep. The other fucker, he's alive.
Yeah, Goose, yeah.
I was mixing up Goose and Vanessa. Yeah. Okay. And did Goose get out? I know we had him like for like 24 hours probably.
Yeah, he is out of the jail, but he still has to stay like a week no fly sort of thing.
So
So he
he has
can't leave
bail.
yeah, he can't leave the town until like Friday or something like that.
Did he surrender his passport?
Sure. But like I said, it's gonna be like for a week.
Okay. Okay.
Do I think that maybe bureaucracy would get me in to talk to Genesis before the federal agent takes her away?
She's
Off
already
the
gone.
record.
Sure. Good
Okay.
question. Yeah, I would have yeah, for sure. But like if you want to go see High Horse, he's still in jail. If you want to talk to him, Vic is still in jail. Um, although Vic's probably going to get out at this point because they know that he was influenced.
What do y'all think on that?
Do we still need to talk to Vic?
I think you guys have all the information from Vic that you can get. I think going back and taking a look at the notes. Um,
We could get in to get some in off the record information from Genesis. What is it that we might potentially be able to use from her? Again, I don't think we can use it in prosecuting anything from the sound of it, but If she can
Who's
point,
Mr. Nobody? Like she's the one that thought she knew that identity.
What Genesis isn't there anymore. She's gone.
okay.
She's definitely gone now.
Yeah, the feds took her already.
Okay.
And we were pulled onto her because we think she induced aggression in Vic to go up and shoot Mansoor. So,
Yep.
like, it might have been nice to know if someone told her to do that, or she's just like, I hate the only good mutants. I'm going to try to get them killed. But a little late for that, seems like.
You did get to talk to her a little bit before that. You're pretty sure that ended up being the case, right? Like she was trying to get closer to um to the only good mutants to do something to him. But remember, that's when she saw Mr. Nobody. And that's when she was like, she freaked out. She's like, I'm not getting any closer. Hey, this guy can get to him. Induced Vic to try and go kill Goose. All right, it is 9:15. We usually go to 10 or less on this. We can try and shoot for another scene, or we can go to sleep, and then I can give a terrible big reveal as a prompt to start the next session.
Terrible big reveal.
I'm looking for the big reveal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So not so much as a big reveal as this is what the mini campaign is supposed to do here. All right. So everyone mark down. And also, it is, where's my little thing here? So we did Tuesday. It's now Wednesday. Okay. This is the third session. Everyone that's been here for all the sessions get 6 build points for their main character. And we're going to say 3 build points for their secondary characters. Okay. We can give Weaver 4 points since Jason played him tonight. Well, it's something, right? Heal everything up that you need to. All your superpowers are back. Your health is your health is healed by 2. Composure healed by 2. All of your physical skills all the way back up to their regular pool points. Whew. Okay. Wednesday morning. Before you go into the office, the morning day shift that is your primary characters plus Weaver, since he's helping out because this case has gotten too unwieldy, are told to go to the mutant burrow into a kind of a back alley area. As you get there, it's cordoned off by some regular police officers that were just vaguely keeping people back. And make sure I've got it open to the right spot. Sergeant Barn calls in the day shift into a closed meeting when you get there in the morning. This is how we'll do it. Last night, mutant activist Servid, otherwise known as Bambi Calloway, was discovered brutally murdered. There's investigators that have cordoned off an back alley area. And they've dumped the case onto our laps once the body was identified. Servid lived across town, which you've actually been to, and it's unknown why she was in the burrows near midnight. Right now, the public is unaware of the case, but internally, they're happy enough to chalk it up to a random hate crime. And that's how we'll start next session. If you want me to give you the initial crime scene, I can, just for something to think about. But it's a whole nother can of worms to open up and start thinking about, because you're still not done with this case either. let's do one more scene. We're going to do this as the night before. I should have done this the other way around. The night before you get called in. So it's Tuesday night. All of you kind of decide that, you know what, taking one more run at Al Manzoor is probably the right thing to do, right? Because you all kind of came to that same conclusion, right? So let's do this. Al Manzoor. Okay. You cut to the hospital kind of near closing time, but show your badges and you're allowed in. Not a problem. Al Manzoor is sitting upright, eating away some pudding as you come in. He goes like, "What do you want?" How many times do I have to see your faces before you leave me alone? Oh,
Oop, oop, we lost somebody. We lost the
yeah,
night nurse.
yeah, night nurse.
Mansoor, we just wanted to check in with you to see how you were doing, see if your powers have come back since your visit with Reese.
I'm feeling better. Wait, what? It seems like just to kind of go like, uh,
It seems like you were in an odd bit of a rush to go get rid of your powers after you visited the clinic. We were hoping you could tell us what the big rush was.
look, not. Uh, he sits there and thinks for quite a bit as I look through my notes. Okay. Sec. All right, so can you give me a skill check that you want to use to make this, all of you working together to try and figure out how to make this stick? Like, give me a theory using the clues that you have. And if you don't have a theory as of yet, then we'll just pretend this never happened.
Well, it seems like he's trying to help his kid somehow. I mean, I don't know what the rest of you think. It seems like somehow it's related to, or maybe he's doing this for money, but it's not, if with the Sin Eater not able to give powers away, that would mean Reese is just using the healing power for himself. But
well,
I'm
he
not.
also paid Sin Eater, so it's not like he's even getting paid for that. He actually forked over cash for that, is what we were told.
Yeah, and Reese doesn't get those superpowers. He just absorbs them. He just takes them away from someone else for a while, or like nullifies them out of someone else. He
Oh,
doesn't
so
get
he
them.
doesn't get any benefit of it all. Oh,
Nope.
I'm not. Yeah, go for it.
I should say I appeal to and his son not getting held back by society's views of mutants. He'll reveal
Okay.
something to us.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, like just more like the persuasion side of like appealing to that and see if he'll be like, well,
Yeah,
part of it.
that's definitely a part of it, right? So he's doing something to try and, right? Like he's getting paid a lot of money. Like he's getting paid a lot of money to be a bodyguard for Goose Wilson. Um, but why would he want to not be able to heal as a bodyguard? All
Like
right.
he's trying to get killed. It
There,
seems right.
or
Like
Or he's getting paid to let somebody else get killed. Getting hush money?
Oh, maybe.
But if I was wondering if maybe he's getting paid to take a dive, but that doesn't really make sense because A, Vanessa the assassin got past him without attacking him, and B, the guy who attacked him interrupted the assassination attempt. So it doesn't really make any sense for him to have been intentionally taking a dive here because it did nothing other than get him needlessly hospitalized. And I guess Goose didn't get killed, but I figured he could have done that with his powers as well.
Unless it was trying to, I need you to be able to take me down so that when you get past me, yeah, unless I don't know, it'd be almost like if an assassin paid him to take the dive, like go get rid of your powers, I'll shoot you, you drop, I won't kill you, and then I'll go in and kill the guy you were guarding, like like he was double agent kind of a thing. But again, the
Yeah,
assassin was already inside the room.
yeah, and the guy who shot him, as far as we can tell, was randomly someone used their powers to make him aggressive and go up and shoot.
So maybe that's all. Maybe there was the goal that would be part of it. Like,
Well, that
I
distracted the assassin and let Goose overcome the assassin. So if it was intended, it was horribly planned out. But that's
maybe.
possible.
What if there were two assassination attempts? One assassination attempt by the one in the room, and then whoever hired Jezebel to make the guy go up and shoot um, the bodyguard,
Yeah.
and then go in and kill him. Except the guy didn't follow through with the going in to kill him after he shot the bodyguard. So what if there's two assassination attempts?
I think there's almost certainly two assassination attempts. It'd be very convoluted for it to be one. But
There's going to be one more piece I'm going to make you guys work for real quick. That is, you know, for a fact from what you've gotten from earlier clues that Al Manzur has the Messiah complex, right? For him to have the Messiah complex, there has to be something going on. And I think you guys figured this out once before, but it was 2 sessions ago. So I don't want to just give it to you, but I kind of like you guys kind of figured out part of it already. But if you can tell me what that is right now, I'll give you a leading question, and that might help get your case solved a little bit faster. So, do you guys have the Quaid diagram?
right, we know he has regeneration, which is what it takes to get the Messiah complex. That's the power he took away. Isn't that all he has to have is regeneration, and then he could have the Messiah complex?
Nope.
Or does he have to, he also has to have healing, right?
He has
I
to
didn't know
cross
that's how
over.
it worked.
Yeah, he has to cross over to get that GFR. Now,
So he would have.
what if the question is, why is he trying to, instead of asking why is he trying to hinder his regeneration powers, what if you change the question to, why is he hindering his healing powers?
He was being forced to heal somebody he didn't want to heal anymore. But it wouldn't have been his son, right? He probably, that power was important to help him heal his son, but maybe there was someone else. Ask him who is that. Does that seem like I'm going in the right direction, everybody? Like maybe he's being forced to help someone who he detests.
Is that what you're going to
Like
ask?
fucking like Goose Wilson, who's like a fucking anti-mutant fucking guy who he's supposed to bodyguard, and he figures he gets his healing suppression, so he can't help him in case he gets assassinated, and then he doesn't though.
I guess I'll ask the question broadly. Who is it that you didn't want to heal anymore?
He looks at you all and it's very conflicted. And without just like a single tear kind of leaks from the side of his face, but he's not actually crying as he's just looking at you. He's like, I just couldn't stand the screams anymore. You know, it's not, It's not okay. I can't do it. I can't live like this. But I can't go to jail and not be around my boy. Uh, I if you can figure out a way for me to be able to see my boy, I'll tell you what I know.
I wonder if he was being used to heal people. Which one of I'm going to take a long shot here. Which who was it that was hurting people?
I think you know who. You've met him.
Mr. Nobody?
What? No. No, the psychopaths. Look, if oh, the the man almost kills these women.
Goose Wilson? Is
Yeah.
killing?
No, he's
Oh.
not. He goes as far as he possibly can. And then I come in. I'll testify. I'll testify. But you got to keep me out of jail.
I think we can arrange that.
I tell you what, how about we go get your boy and make sure he's safe right now, so that they don't get after him.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, you know where he's at?
We do.
Oh, shit. You make a call. He makes a call. El Manzur picks up a cell phone and tries to call his son, who's not answering. And that's where we'll
This
leave
turned
it.
into a dirt situation where if the cops know where his son is, then the enemy knows where his son is.
Well, Maria did warn you that there is some bad apples in your unit.
Mm-hmm. It's funny how we had this brand new guy show up, and then all of a sudden, everything goes to shit. How weird! What a coincidence! Ha!
Fantastic. Thank you guys so much for playing tonight. If you want to talk about different theories or whatever, I'll be more than happy just to hang out. But yeah, that's our session. And then, so you got to figure out if you can give Al Manzur a deal, which now that he knows that his son is missing, he's like, I can't until I know he's safe. I can't say anything. Right. So you have the possibilities. Now, here's the part that's going to get weird if you take this to a lawyer, because I brought this to a couple different lawyers and a judge that I know, going like, "Hey, what would happen? How could you? Is there any case here that you could get someone?" And they're like, "Well, there's no proof, right? So if you beat someone up and then you completely heal them, and they don't remember that they got beat up." Did a crime happen? Yeah, obviously a crime happened, but now prove it. And now you have to figure out who killed Servid. So that's again, thank you
Killed
so
who?
much. Servid, Baby Calloway.
Oh, Bambi. I don't like it.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, maybe without anyone to heal her, when he beat her up and messed her up pretty bad, there was no one to heal her back to life. So maybe this is the case.
I'm gonna clear Goose Wilson right now because he is being watched. It definitely was not Goose
Or
Wilson.
is he? There's someone in our unit, no doubt.
Yeah, definitely not one of the bad apples.
I would definitely put my secondary on, like, trying to find the kid during that third shift, if possible, when we
Sure.
start next time.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, because it'd be before Bambi thing even happens, so we can do third shift. Yeah, third shift Tuesday. So we can start it
And
there at our next session, which will
but,
be in like 2 weeks. But yeah, that's everything for
We also-
tonight, I think.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think Weaver's character would be strong enough to jump in for third shift too for next time. So
yeah,
it probably won't be me, but you know.
Oh, I was gonna say, does that mean you're joining us,
Back
Jason?
there. I don't think I can. No,
All right.
but
It's just 2.5 hours every other weekend. That's it. It's less than the National Guard.
good to know.
Right on. Well, thanks everyone. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Because of you guys, you've done a great job helping me do the playtest stuff. I had to create Agent Franklin, because I knew that Genesis Jackson knew something, and I had it kind of figured out. Like, well, I'll tell them this, and I'm like, wait a minute, I can't really reveal those parts until Act 3. I just wanted to introduce the idea of them in Act 1. And now, starting next session, we'll get into Act 2 before we get into Act 3. So, Agent Franklin, that really helped me bring up. All of a sudden, Al Manzoor's kid is a lot more involved, adding scenes to it. And I had that hostel already made for a different part. So, it's really nice to actually just be able to bring it in organically. Be like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, then we have this. Now, it might be a bit much to have the kid kidnapped, but we can talk about that next time or how you guys feel about that. To me, if I'm a bad guy, it seems like an obvious thing to do, kind of, but maybe not. I don't know.
To me, it doesn't strike as like a trigger or a flag. I don't know about anyone else. I mean, there's nothing sort of particularly sadistic or anything like that seems to be happening related to a kid. So I think kidnapping a kid is a pretty standard villain fare, right? So I don't see there any problems with it.
I'm okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a problem. I can imagine it being one of those things that would easily be like an X card for some people. Like, absolutely not. So having an alternate, like, if you are not okay with this,
Yeah.
probably a good
Yeah,
idea.
honestly, I'd probably just take it out completely, And what I like about, I mean, it's a weird thing to say. What I like about kidnapping kids is, it it sets you up. It sets you up for a really nice cut and dry fight, right? You guys know there's going to be some sort of fight with or a big bad guy at that point. Because right now you're like, well, I'm just trying to solve this case. Like, there's no real fight in it. Like throwing in uh the KO Boomer, that's just part of the mini campaign of a little one-off encounter that you have. Now, I loved how it turned out timing wise, because then you guys went to Paradise Found, and like Eric, you immediately got like, oh no, Dan's in the thing. Like that was really cool to see that all come together in order that was supposed to. No, just thank you so much. It's been really helpful. And I think uh I am good to go every weekend this month. I think wait, it's July. The weekend of August 4th, just want to let you guys know I probably won't be able to play.
Gone that week.
We won't either.
Oh, well, there you go. Perfect.
On the 28th is another a strike evening for theater, so I might be late. I should still. Is that us even? I'm not sure which game that is.
Yeah, what is today? Today's the 30th, so on the 20th. That would be Tuesday, Mutant City Blues again.
Okay, so I might be late on that date, but I shouldn't be super late.
Okay. Sounds good. Right on. Has there then just for the play? So you guys got your experience points. You can take a look how you can spend those. The build points is actually really easy. You can build up your superpowers. You can get a new superpower if you want to, as long as it's connected. All sorts of weird, wacky stuff you can do. You can just update your character sheet. That's fine. Uh, is there anything so far that you'd like to see more of, or less of, or anything like that? Okay. Okay. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to private message me. I'll go ahead and send out notes. And yeah, again, thank you guys so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. See you guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brickhouse.